Hey everyone, welcome to week 20 of 12 Months of Less. This week we are talking about the 7 baby steps and your challenge is to figure out what baby step you are on. I wanted to tell you a little bit about how I got to this place, and I even found out about the 7 baby steps and what it is doing for my life and especially for my financial life. Last Christmas, I asked for a book called Total Money Makeover, and this book is by Dave Ramsey, and Santa was nice enough to bring it to me. So this is what it looks like, and this book has changed my life. I read it in less than 48 hours. There is so much good content in here, and not only does it talk about the 7 baby steps, it just makes you think about money in a way that you probably haven't thought about it before, or at least that's how I felt. And it just made me have this whole new outlook on money, my finances, what I should be doing with my money. I owe it to Dave because this is why I have paid off so much of my debt so far, and I just have these big dreams that I know I can accomplish by sticking to the 7 baby steps. So I want to talk about those a little bit briefly. I'm going to list them off and just give you a couple tidbits about each. There is more information in the email, so please read that. The other thing I want to say before I list these is that these 7 steps are proven. There are so many success stories, not only in this book, but Dave also has a podcast that has been airing since 1992 when I was born. So that is like 26, it's 26 years. This works. There are so many debt-free screens, and people that follow the plan will be set up for success. So just wanted to throw that out there. I know sometimes Dave talks about his critics, but what he does say is that those people probably aren't following this, or you know, if they were to follow it, they wouldn't be complaining because it actually works. Which so far I've been doing what he says. It's been working out really well for me. As I'm talking about the steps, kind of think about where you're at in your financial journey, and then wherever you are at, I would go to that email and just read through it, and read through all the steps anyhow, because there's probably stuff in there that you either don't know, or maybe you think you're on one step but you're actually on another one. Without further ado, the 7 baby steps are: number 1, build a $1,000 emergency fund as quick as possible. This may be difficult, you know, if you don't have like $50 saved, it may be difficult because you have a long way to go, but you can do it. Use your budget. Everything you're not spending this month, throw it to that emergency fund, get it built as quick as possible. Because then with number 2 is you are going to list your debt smallest to largest and start paying your debt that way. Don't worry about the interest rate, because Dave teaches that when you start paying smallest to largest, it's going to make a greater impact, because at this point the math doesn't matter, it's all what's in your mind. So if you've paid off, you know, 3 debts within a couple months, and then, you know, you're building momentum and you're not going to want to quit, as opposed to you start with this $20,000 loan because it has, you know, a high interest rate, whereas the rest have a lower interest rate because you're probably trying to save like a couple $1,000s, which in that case you may give up and then you never even get it paid off. If you already have, let's say you have $3,000 today, but you're in debt, drop that down to $1,000 in your savings, and then take that $2,000 and put it toward your debt. So you should only have $1,000 in savings. And this may scare you, but then when you get your debt paid off, and this is everything but your house, you have a mortgage, don't worry about the mortgage, it's everything but that. Then you'll go to baby step 3, which is to build 3 to 6 months of a fully funded emergency fund. And that is only to be used for emergencies. If you do not have a house, then there's a 3B where you can start saving for a down payment. Once you're done with that, you'll move into baby step 4, which is all about investing for retirement. If you are, right now, if you're putting money in retirement, but you have debt, stop your retirement right now so you can use that money to start paying off your debt. And I don't mean take the money out of your retirement to pay for it. I mean, stop your retirement now so that the money that was coming out of future paychecks, you can use it to pay off your debt. And then once you're done paying off your debt and build your emergency fund, then you can start putting money back in retirement. He also says 15%. It's 15% of your income to go into that. Then baby step number 5 is to fund your child's college education, or children if you have multiple. He talks about the ESA, Educational Savings Account, I think. And there's more information in that, about that in the email. But basically you can put up to $2,000 a year. And if you do that from when they're born to when they're 18, you'll probably have, I think it was like $126,000 in there in a ESA mutual fund because of the interest that it will be gaining. If you don't have kids, or if they're already grown up at your house, then you don't need to worry about this step. Then the next step is baby step 6, and that is to pay off your home. And the stats show that most people who start their total money makeover journey from like start to finish in terms of the house, it takes them 7 years, which is just crazy. Paying off your house in 7 years, I'm like, ooh, that just gives me chills. You can do 4, 5, and 6 all together, which I don't think I mentioned in my email. So 4, 5, and 6, you do at the same time. Then baby step 7 is to build your wealth and live and give like no one else. And this is where Dave says it's very fun because you've done it. Like you've got rid of, you've taken care of everything else. Now you can have fun. You can buy the car that you've always wanted to, even though more statistics show that even people who are wealthy don't buy new cars. A lot of them still buy used cars just because that's what they're used to. But you can, go shopping, go on the trip, do things because you've earned it. Keep building wealth, keep investing. If you want to get into real estate, totally fine, you can do that, or like mutual funds like he talks about. And then says that one of the most rewarding parts though is giving. When you buy things, it feels good, but when you give, it feels right, which I just love. Those are the 7 baby steps. And the last thing I want to leave you with is in every page of this book, which I'll zoom in here in a second and show you, but in every page at the bottom, there's the quote, "If you live like no one else, later you can live like no one else," which is why I have it posted here. I've had this posted here since January, I think, when I redid my chalkboard, just to remind me it's okay to say no. It's okay to be frugal. You want to make sacrifices now so then later you can live like no one else. That's it for week 20. Let me just show you real quick. There we go. And every page says that. That is week 20. Can't believe it's another week. If you have any questions on the 7 baby steps, let me know. Check in on our Facebook group and let us know where you're at in your journey. And if you haven't got the book, get it if you want even more information about the 7 baby steps. They're $10 right now. Link is in the email, or get it from your library. All right, that's all for this week. I'll see you later.